Okay, well, sorry for this late upload. I wasn't going to do one tonight, but I'm doing it for Miss Kinsley because she missed last night. So this is for her. So the first one is from the 44th Magistrate Court. And this one is a little nutty. That's all I'm going to say about that one. It's just a little nutty. And then the second one is with Judge Washington Hill, also a little nutty. And then the third one is Judge Hesselink, and he's got just this most delightful young lady in his courtroom. And then the last one is with Judge Wilcox. I threw this in. It's a traffic one to kind of cleanse your palate, and this one's for Hugh. So I'll let you guys watch.
Okay, thank you for giving the court time to review the court. Just to recap, we consent to Zoom, we waive the formal reading. She pleads not guilty, and not guilty plea shall enter. She shall have assigned counsel. We verify the address. We have the phone number chatted to the clerk. Madam Clerk, did you receive it?
Yes.
Okay, and then we are looking at bond and bond conditions. And the court is setting a $5,000 personal bond with conditions as follows. You have to personally appear for an exam, arraignment, trial, or sentencing. You shall abide by any judgment entered in this case. You must surrender to serve any sentence imposed. You shall not leave the state of Michigan without permission of the court. You shall not commit any crime while released. You shall not use alcohol, marijuana, or any other illegal controlled substance. You shall be supervised by pretrial services. You'll check in one time per week with pretrial services. You may not do the following. Do not enter into any CVS or Walgreens and or any drugstores in Royal Oak or Berkeley. You're muted, ma'am. I can't hear you.
I have so much money invested in CVS and Walgreens. I am Mrs. and Mrs. Adam Winship, granddaughter, not daughter, daughter.
Okay, well, you're
I
not, you're
still
gonna have
building,
to, ma'am,
and
please
I'm
don't speak.
invested in it, and I have money sitting in there. That's why the tool is
Okay.
trying to get me out
Ms.
of.
Clark, please don't speak back to the court. If you
Okay.
need to go to CVS or Walgreens, it's going to be outside of the city of Royal Oak or Berkeley. They have
But
several
send
locations.
the papers to show. Well, can you ask the lady to give me my $1 trillion my father left there for me? Because I was
Okay.
going to give her the store. So maybe that's why she's doing
Okay,
it.
let me be very clear. Do not go to CVS in Royal Oak or Berkeley. If you have business there, you're going to have someone else handle it for you or an attorney. Here's the next condition. Do not enter into Beaumont or Corwell except for a medical emergency. Do not enter into any restaurants, bars, and or retail establishments in Royal Oak and Berkeley except for work purposes and or court or medical appointments. We're going to set this matter for a pretrial. The notice to appear will be sent to the 9 Mile address. You will have assigned counsel. Ms. Chupak, is there anything else further requested that the court can do or that's required on this case on behalf of Ms. Clark?
At this time, no.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Clark. You may leave the arraignment. You are muted, so I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
In Berkeley, and if I show them I have ownership, which Crane Communications already sent the papers to show
Okay.
that.
Ma'am, whether or not, okay,
work
listen,
it out.
whether or not you have ownership interest in a store or you don't is for another day. You'll have to have someone else straighten that out for you. Don't go to CVS or Walgreens or any other drugstore in Royal Oak or Berkeley until
But
this
man,
bond, no, we don't argue
I
back.
need to get my money from there, and so that's why they're doing it.
Okay, I'm gonna tell
Don't
you
understand.
something.
They've been taking advantage of me with stealing
Okay,
money.
that's for another day.
Even John Edwards'
Okay,
daughter went there.
please
and
stop
got-
talking.
and they
Please stop
robbed
talking.
her.
That's the bond condition. It'll have to get sorted out later. Okay? Don't go to CVS. If you do, you will violate this bond and you may
Okay, I
lose your
don't
freedom.
know by late, but
Okay?
I'll close the store.
Okay. Don't go to CVS.
Close it.
Okay. Thank you. You may leave the Zoom.
So if I come back to court, I get the papers in the mail.
Oh, 1 second. Why don't you stop at the counter and get the phone number for pretrial services?
Okay.
Okay, stop at the clerk because you have to call there by Tuesday at 3:00 p.m. and set up supervision with them. And that's where you're going to call them once per week and check in with them so that we know how you're doing.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Take care. Be well.
We're hearing cause number DF 241810 Gonzalez and Bravo Rios. With the parties in the Gonzalez matter, please raise your right hands. Mr. Gonzalez, is your right hand raised?
Yes, of course.
Okay. Do each of you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this cause will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Ms. Bravo
Yes.
and Mr. Gonzalez,
Señor González? Yes.
you may both lower your hands. And Mr. Dell, you may proceed.
Judge, we are here today on the stage petition to establish the parent-child relationship and in suit affecting the parent-child relationship. I ask that the court take judicial notice of the temporary order signed April 22nd, 2025.
So noted.
Y se
Thank you, Judge.
reconoce. Gracias, su señoría.
Judge, all issues were dealt with in the temporary order except for retroactive child support. Although father is now working, has changed employment and is now working full-time as well. Parties agreed that all of the terms shall remain the same in the temporary order, which did include standard possession with joint managing conservatorship. And we are here today to modify the child support and ask for a retroactive child support judgment. Father disagrees with the state's proposals. Your Honor, may I call mother first?
The interpreter needs clarification. I know she doesn't need an interpreter, but do I need to interpret anyway so that Mr. Gonzalez knows what's going on? I need
Yes.
instruction. Yes, okay, thank you.
Miss Bravo, what is your full name?
Señora,
Hold on
señora
one
Bravo, ¿cuál
second.
es?
Hold on one second, Ms. Herrera. Ms. Bravo, do not answer until Ms. Herrera has interpreted for Mr. Gonzalez, okay? So Mr. Dell will ask you a question, Ms. Herrera will interpret, and then you can answer, okay?
Okay, I'm
All
sorry.
right, thank you, ma'am.
Mhm.
Mr. Dell, ask your question again.
What is your full name, Miss Bravo?
Luz Maria Bravo.
And Miss Bravo, how many children do you and Mr. Gonzalez have together?
We have 4.
And how old are the children?
¿Y qué edades tienen los niños?
6, 8, and I'm sorry, 13 and 10.
And Miss Bravo, it's your understanding that Mr. Gonzalez is currently employed, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Sí.
Do you know what he does for a living?
No, but I just found out that he has a electrician job.
And you are asking that the court set Mr. Gonzalez to child support at $1,158, correct?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Sí.
And it's your understanding that that amount is based on Mr. Gonzalez's current income as his job as an electrician, correct?
Correct, yes.
Correcto, sí.
And you and Mr. Gonzalez used to live together, right?
Correct.
Correcto.
When did you guys stop living together?
Sometimes in 2020 year on 2020, maybe May.
Tal vez en mayo.
I don't remember exact date.
You remember the month?
April or May.
Okay, and since you guys separated, has Mr. Gonzalez paid you any money directly for the 4 children?
Not the first year, but
El
after that, maybe it was sometimes, not every weekend, not every month.
How much in total has he paid you in the past 4 years?
I will say 3,000 for, but 3,000 in the middle of 4. Yeah, I'm gonna say 3,000.
How did he pay you? How do you make the payments?
Sometimes he'll bring like 100, 200, maybe 3 times he brought 300, but that's it.
So he paid you in cash?
Yes,
Sí,
And it's your understanding that during the past 4 years, Mr. Gonzalez was mostly employed and working, correct? He had a job?
yes,
sí,
Okay, and you understand that based on his prior income and having 4 children, that the total amount of retroactive child support would be about $42,000, correct?
yes, I do understand.
sí, entiendo.
Okay, but what number are you asking the court to grant for retroactive child support today in total? What are you asking for?
20,000,
Okay, and why are you asking for 20,000 in total?
because I know it's he's not going to. I know he's not gonna pay it at all. So I'm just trying to go lower to 20,000.
And would you be in agreement that he pay that at $150 a month?
Yes.
Sí,
Do you have any safety concerns on the case at this time with Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, I do.
sí,
What's your safety concern?
It's for the kids, cause on May when he came to pick them up, he told the kids that the only thing I was worried about, or the only thing I cared about, it was the money, and I think the kids don't need to hear that. So I guess he just tries to put a lot of negativity on their kids' heads.
But you don't have a problem with the kids spending the night with him in his home, correct?
Counsel, you cut out for a second. Can you please repeat?
But you do not have a problem with the kids spending the night with him at his home, correct?
Correcto. No. No, no, I don't have a problem.
No, no tengo ningún problema.
I'd like to pass the witness, Judge.
You may.
Está bien.
I'll call father. Mr. Gonzalez, what is your full name?
Arturo González.
Mr. Gonzalez, are you currently employed?
Yes, that is correct.
What do you do?
Electrician.
And you have your electrician's electrical license, correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Do you work for a company or are you self-employed?
For a company.
What's the name of the company?
Legacy.
How long have you worked with Legacy?
1 month, 2 weeks, 1 month, 1 week, more or less.
Do you get paid hourly, salary, or per the job?
Hourly.
How much do you make per hour?
$24 per hour.
Do you usually work at least 40 hours per week?
Yes, for now, yes.
Do you have any other children besides the 4 children on this case?
No.
Okay. And you understand the state's asking that you pay guideline child support of $1,158 per month?
Yes, I understand.
Do you agree with that amount?
No.
How much do you want the court to set your child support at?
Well, besides my personal expenses, I could pay $800 and I could pay for medical insurance or something like that because I just started working and I'm just starting my career again.
Okay. And it's correct that you don't remember what you were making in 2021, right?
I don't remember very well, but it was about $22, something like that.
Okay. Were you making $22 an hour in 2022?
Yes, I think so.
Were you also making $22 an hour in 2023?
No, I made a little bit more. I don't remember. It was $22.75 or 23, something like that.
Okay. And how much were you making $24 an hour in 2024?
Yes,
And then prior to starting your job at Legacy, there was a time period of about 7 months in which you were unemployed, correct?
correct.
Okay. And when did you and Miss Bravo stop living together?
Well, if I remember correctly, when she left the house, it was around August, November of 2021.
Okay. And the past 4 years, you've been working as an electrician, correct?
Not the whole time. There were some times that I did not have work as an electrician and I had to do other types of jobs like yard work or framing, anything.
Okay. And in the past 4 years, how much money have you given to Miss Bravo for the kids in total?
I would say that it is more than the $3,000 that she is saying.
How much?
I don't know. It could be $12,000, $15,000.
Did you pay her cash?
For some time, I paid her cash. For some time, I gave her money orders.
Okay. Are you asking the court to rule that you should pay $0 in back child support?
Well, yes, if possible, because it was her decision. It was her decision to leave the house. And well, yes,
You don't think you should pay any back child support, correct?
that is correct because the year that she left after what she did, she never said to me, here is money for the children or anything.
And Mr. Gonzalez, do you have any safety concerns with Miss Bravo at this time?
With my children,
No, with her.
the interpreter would like to correct. I would like to correct. He said towards my children, not with the children, but towards the children. And then he just said, yes, I do have a concern.
What's your concern with the mother directly?
She was saying that I want to get things into my children's heads when that is not the case.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Termina con el testigo, su señoría.
Mr. Gonzalez, you said that when Miss Bravo left, that she didn't offer to send you any money for the children. Did the children live with you for a period of time? Let Ms. Herrera interpret that part.
Yes, that is correct. They were living with me for about a year and some months until she came back for the children. Of course, I would take them to school when she slept because she would work at night and she would only see them on Sundays.
But they lived with you in your house and Miss Bravo did not live there.
Yes, I did live there.
Miss Bravo, I'm talking to Mr. Gonzalez, ma'am.
Yes, that is correct. The children were living with me when she left the house.
Okay, and how long did they live with you after Miss Bravo left?
Like I said before, about a year and 2 months, it could be.
Okay, and so she stayed gone for a year and 2 months, and then she came back, and she wasn't living with you guys, and then she came back to get the kids.
Yes, that is correct.
And give me a month and a year that she left.
It was in November 2021.
And when did she come back and pick up the kids?
It was in February, March of 22, more or less.
Okay, so that was.
I mean,
That was 5 months.
I'm sorry, 23. I'm sorry.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Muy bien, gracias, señor.
Miss Bravo,
Señora Bravo,
unmute yourself.
por
Yes.
favor, active el micrófono.
Was
Yes.
there a point in time that you left the kids with Mr. Gonzalez?
No, ma'am.
Hubo,
That's a lie. I completely lie. That's a
Hubo-
lie.
So then why does he say that?
Because for him, leaving was me working 12 hours. Working 12 hours, we live together, okay? I never left the kids. I never left him like that. No, I didn't left the kids like that. No, I work 12 hours every night. So I will come home and we live together. We were still living together. I will come home, okay? 6 a.m. I will get out 6 a.m. Go pick up the kids, get them ready for school, take them to school, come back and sleep there for and then we'll go pick up the kids. And for him, leaving means for him leaving means me working and and coming home to sleep for him.
Okay,
That
hold on. Let Miss
Espere,
Herrera, let Miss
señora.
Herrera translate, interpret.
Permítame.
He says that happened from November of 2021 to February of 2023. When
En-
did you leave the house? Actually leave the house?
realmente haberme ido probablemente en el I mean probably in the obviously I left in the 2020 on like maybe May, April, but what he's talking about is a year before when I started working. When I started working,
Hold on 1 second. He says that period of time when you started working was from 2021 to 2023. That's why I'm asking you, when did you leave the house?
so, okay. So when I left the house was on the 2020th. Don't remember the exact date, but I know it was on like May, April, June. I don't remember, but on between those months. And what he's talking about, I never left the kids with him. That's something I will never do. I never left the kids with him. He's just mad and upset that I left, and he's trying to say that I left the kids with him, which never happened. And you can ask the kids if I ever did that. You can ask the kids, okay? It's my words against his.
Okay,
And
Ms. Bravo. Okay, Ms. Bravo. Okay. Do you have any further questions of either one of these witnesses, Mr. Dell?
No, Judge.
No, su señoría.
And the child support you requested was $1,158 a month, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
Correcto.
Then my ruling is I will adopt the terms of the temporary order and make them terms of the final order, except for the child support amount. Child support will be ordered at $1,158 per month. A retroactive child support judgment of $12,000 to be paid at $100 a month. Is there anything further, Mr. Dell?
No, Your Honor.
No, su señoría.
Do either of the parties have any questions?
yes, I do.
Yes, I do.
Yes, ma'am.
Sí, señora.
Okay. So you're saying he's gonna start paying every month 1,000 and how much?
$1,158 a month.
Oh, okay. So he hasn't paid since May. So is that going to somehow they're going to take it out of his paycheck too, or?
It's ordered to be withheld from his check. But if it's never withheld, he still has an obligation to pay it.
And what happens if he leaves his job or he decides not to pay it? What will happen?
Then you'll have to ask the Attorney General's office to file a motion to enforce.
Okay.
Mr.
Okay.
Gonzalez, do you have any questions? What is your question, sir?
It's more than a question. It's more of a comment rather than a
I'm
question.
not asking for comments, I'm asking for questions.
As she said, if I leave the job or if I get fired, if I get let go and I no longer work, what would happen with the order?
The order is still in place until the order is changed. So unless the order is modified, the child support amount stays the same every month. Now that I've made my ruling, if you don't like it, if you think it's not fair, you have 3 days to appeal, 30 days to file a motion for new trial. This is out of the 302nd District Court. That is Judge Sandra Jackson. She might have a different opinion from mine. Now that I've given you that information, does anyone have any questions?
No.
No.
All right, then thank you both for appearing here today, and you're both free to go.
Thank you.
Gracias, gracias, señoría. Que tenga buen
Thank
día.
you. Thank you, Your Honor. Have a good day.
Staff reported her mood the rest of the week was fairly good. She was redirected every day, but only for something small like chatting outside of her pod, jokingly saying shut up, or other comments. On June 6th, this was our first meeting. The meeting was just with Victoria and I, and her treatment caseworker was present as well, but just to supervise. She presented bad attitude towards me in my conversations. We were talking about her mom possibly moving from Otsego County to elsewhere, and I asked, why is that? And she replied, I don't know, I'm stuck here. Staff reported that she needed to receive more redirections for her swearing, antagonizing, talking out of turn, mouthing off, and looking at other pods to talk about boys. On June 8th, her room was searched and a small folded note was found reading, "You made fine, hit my line, I know you have time." She states she did not write it, but she does not know where it came from. More redirection was needed for antagonizing others, talking over top of peers, and overall redirection of general experiences. June 11th, she was checked for language and had some more timeouts. June 13th, this was our second meeting with Victoria. This was just her and I, as well as her treatment caseworker. Victoria states she is learning positive things and taking accountability for her actions, but then later in this meeting, she told me she's not learning anything because it's easy. She then asks me why she had to be here for 120 days if she can complete the program in 65, and also wanted to know why she had to wait forever for a home pass. As I was trying to explain to the best of my abilities, Victoria told me she was actually done talking to me because, quote, I am uneducated and new. June 15th, she got redirected for arguing and bickering with her peers and for calling a different peer a nickname of Mexican. Same day, she received a notice of discipline for being disruptive and yelling from her room during a lockdown after a peer was making threats about her. It was reported she was taking accountability for this, so that was really good. June 18th, the probation department received an email requesting that Victoria is asking for a home pass on the 27th of June if Melissa can attend the weekly meetings with Ms. Johnson and myself, and if her time can be changed from 120 days to 90 days. June 20th, we had our third meeting. Ms. Johnson was present for this one as well. Victoria states she has been learning a lot from this program, and Melissa and Victoria will be attending family counseling to work on boundaries, communication, and anger to create a better relationship, and she is on step 4 of her program book. June 21st, it was reported that she had very low efforts but was respectful to others and kept to herself. June 23rd, Ms. Johnson called Melissa and she states Victoria has been frequently writing to her, practically begging her to come home and begging Melissa to talk to Ms. Johnson to let her out before the target date of 120 days. Victoria also told Melissa that she's being bullied and people are, quote, setting her up by planting notes in her shoes and rooms. At this point, Melissa reports she is nervous for Victoria. If she gets a home pass, she fears that she will not return. June 27th, this was our fourth meeting with Victoria. Ms. Johnson was also present. Victoria told us that she's on step 6 of her program book, but Victoria cannot remember what steps she has done or what previous steps she had already did. She is very reluctant on trying to figure this out with the program book being right next to her and will not talk to us about the steps she has learned because she, quote, can't remember. When asked about presenting these steps, she says, quote, "I just do it." We got into a conversation about possibly being prescribed medications, and Victoria has strong feelings about medications, stating she doesn't need them and doesn't want them because the only problem she has is her anger. I questioned her about the way she was presenting herself towards us. She said she was just tired. Miss Johnson questioned her manipulative behavior, and Victoria started eye rolling. In my report, I documented the exact language that was used, and I will read it word for clarity. However, I want to note that there is a racial slur included, and out of respect, I will not say that word. I will indicate it when I reach that part so full context remains clear. For reference, it is bullet point 8. It's June 27th on the following page towards the end of that paragraph. It says, Victoria stated, "I ain't kissing no ass." Conversation then escalated to, "Nah, bro, I am not going to talk to you, bro, and I'm finna not talk to you no more." Miss Johnson asked if she could finish what she was saying, and Victoria said, "No, you keeping me 120 days, bro. I don't give a f. Get this N-word off the screen, the f." Her treatment caseworker finally stepped in saying, "We had a code word for if you started to get frustrated and we could have ended this meeting. Why didn't you use it?" Victoria replied, I'm done, you both." Later that day, she was redirected for negative comments about her PO. The progress report doesn't give me any further explanation as to what this was about, assuming it's about Miss Johnson and I. July 1st, she had an overall good day, but needed redirection for language, boundaries with staff, conversations with peers, more language, and personal time expectations. After a phone call at the end of the night, she was very upset and needed redirections for language and staff bashing. July 2nd, she started her shift with a negative attitude toward staff, but it improved as the night went on. She was redirected for nicknames and continuously referring to her peer as a different name than their own. July 3rd, our 5th and final meeting up until this point, it was on via Zoom. I asked how things were going, and Victoria replied, "I haven't been learning anything. I've been just chilling, not gonna lie." She says she doesn't know what step she's on, and she doesn't care to tell me. Victoria turned to asking, "Why can't my mom be in these meetings? If she can't be in our meetings, then I won't talk to you guys, bro. I just won't." She stated, "This program is, quote, not beneficial to me at all, bro." I started to explain that Melissa is not attending all of these meetings based on how it went last time, but she interrupted me and said, "I don't want to talk to you, bro." Victoria continued to escalate the situation, and I asked, "Do you have anything respectful to say to me?" She said, "No, you." I did mention that this would be all on her review hearing, and she replied, "I don't care, bro." Later that day, staff says she was on task but redirected for swearing. July 4th, one of Victoria's peers asked staff for a larger size tampon, and Victoria made a comment of, "Girl, how big is your ... The staff did not finish that note. Later that day, it was reported Victoria also made it to a point to express that she, quote, lacks energy or drive to care about detention expectations as she is here 120 days regardless of her behavior. July 7th, she was given a behavior processing or a BP for giving her peer her social media information. July 8th, Victoria had an amazing day but was redirected for sharing staff's first names, so lack of boundaries. July 9th, she was redirected for saying someone smells multiple times and being off task. And July 10th, she did well with no redirections. That is all.
Thank you. What are your recommendations, Ms. DeFider?
The only recommendation I have at this time is Victoria continue to meet weekly with the probation department via Zoom in a respectful and appropriate manner.
How much time does she continue to have at detention?
Well, she's been in detention for 49 days, so 120 minus 49.
About 70.
Yeah.
71.
Yep,
Okay.
71.
All right. Ms. Brucker, is there any recommendations that you have?
Anything in addition to what probation is already recommending.
Mr. Delaney, your thoughts?
Thank you, Judge. I had a long talk with Victoria yesterday, obviously by telephone. I also spoke with her mother. I've had this case for 2 years. I've met with them. I believe they've been to my office on multiple occasions. And what I told Victoria is that I've had juveniles do much worse things than she has. And there are juvenile courts in this state that deal with much worse criminal activity, but it's the consistency of it. It's the consistency of the anger, and the fights with her mom, and things like that. Having said that, because people have been giving the negative view of Victoria since we started today, and she's probably earned that badge. She's capable of being a polite person. Some say that's manipulative. Her mother is not an enabler. She comes to court and tells it like it is. She has indicated that she is working in counseling too for some of her behavior, although I think much of it would be in the corner of Victoria. And obviously Victoria wants to come home, and her mother even indicated that she would consider that. Of great concern to the court is that she's home and not long, there's another fight and she's back. Then the court sort of wasted its time giving her the benefit of the doubt. Victoria, and I was reviewing the reports as I was talking to her, was candid enough to say something happened 3 weeks ago. And when I read the report and talked to her, she was consistent about it. And what I said to her was, if your issue was stealing, if you just can't stop stealing from your mom and you shoplift and you said an F-bomb, I think the court could navigate through that. But the file has been the F-bomb and the anger from the beginning. And this was a Zoom call. I mean, I don't want to make excuses for her. Was in a Zoom call. So they weren't even in the same room, and it wasn't really her mom. And they talked about medication that got under her skin, and she went off on a tirade. She has to decide what it's going to take to control that behavior. She has to do that now. I think that even her mom would admit sometimes mom's had a long day. She's raising other children. She's working hard. She has a lot on her plate. And maybe she comes home and it's not the best day for her. But with Victoria's history, she has to walk away from that, even if it's not her fault. She's got to find a way. In summertime, it's easier. In wintertime, it's cold outside. She's got to find a way to handle that because she's not going to get the benefit of the doubt. And I told her it's hard for me to lobby for the court to ask you to go home. Certainly not today or anytime soon, because the last event was 3 weeks ago. And it was exactly what you're in trouble for. You didn't assault anybody, but it's that behavior. So the court, Victoria sees all of this, and you've got to earn that with the court. I think that what I can ask the court to do is for her to earn that. Have her mother lobby for her, have the caseworkers, the juvenile caseworkers lobby for her. And I told her, I know both the caseworkers, Judge. They're very reasonable. They haven't met the unreasonable juvenile probation officer that works in Detroit. And there's no reason for her to retaliate that way. She earns their trust and their good marks, and mom's, and perhaps even Ms. Brucker. And this assault was in May, so it's not obviously a brand new assault with her incarceration. Then I would ask the court to give the discretion, but she's going to have to prove that to the court. Victoria, what the court heard today is not good. 15, 16, 17, you're going to be off probation. You've been on way too long. I know I'm doing the lecturing for the court, but I wear two hats. I act in your best interest, and I also advocate for you. But I have to be realistic here. So I would ask the court, in conclusion, is to give her the opportunity to prove that and indicate what it takes to prove that, not just she behaved for a day. What can she do to earn the court's return home and to give that discretion to the juvenile office? Thank you.
Victoria, I'm going to give you an opportunity to tell me anything that you want me to hear as well. So this is your opportunity to let me know how things are going with you, what you think should be done, and why you think that. So go ahead, please.
I have nothing to say, Your Honor.
How fast do you want to come home?
As soon as possible.
How do you think you can get there?
Finishing this treatment.
What needs to change with you?
My attitude.
What about your attitude?
Showing respect.
Okay. How often and in what way?
How often? When I'm talking to elders.
When somebody makes you mad, does that make it okay for you to unload on them verbally?
No, Your Honor.
Why not?
It's not the right thing to do.
So why do you continue to do it?
I don't think.
What do you think that I can do to get you to learn that lesson?
Nothing. I gotta learn it on my own.
Do you hear what you're saying?
Yeah.
Is it resonating with you?
Yep.
You understand what I'm saying by that? Is it going down deep? Are you able to put that inside yourself and say, yeah, that's really what needs to happen here? Do you get that down deep inside yourself?
Yes, Your Honor.
Because that is the lesson. Mr. Delaney was correct. You have not done, while you've done something wrong, you can't push your mom, you can't do the other things that brought you to the detention. You can't do those things, but you're not the worst criminal in the world. And I don't look at you like the worst criminal in the world. But what I see is an angry young woman. And the reason that you're not at home right now is because your mom has got other young kids at home. And I'm not going to have you spewing anger and hurt and that kind of language all over those other kids. Now, I'm not convinced. In fact, I'm convinced exactly the opposite. I think that you could go home in a minute if you would show the appropriate amount of respect to those people that are around you. If you would, instead of spewing that anger and that hurt, if you would go into counseling and work through those issues that you have, I could let you go home. And I think that you're smart enough to understand that. I listened very carefully to the report that was given to me. I heard that initially you were doing good things at Rise, that you were appropriate with your language, that you were appropriate with your actions. I heard the word respectful being used on occasion. Okay. And as you got there longer, it appears to me that you kind of gave up on, well, I'm not going to get out of here anytime soon, so I might as well just act out. That's the impression that I got. Tell me that I'm wrong.
Nope, you're right.
And it hurts me to believe that you are giving up on yourself, because I see a very intelligent, well-spoken young lady who can and probably will at some point in her life realize how much time she has wasted simply being angry. And how many people she had to hurt before she learned that lesson. Quite frankly, young lady, you control the key. You will get out when you can show me that you can control the anger. I don't know. I'm not a social worker. I'm not a counselor. I'm not a therapist, but I've been doing this long enough. And I've been a coach. I've been a dad. I'm a granddad. I see kids on a regular basis in front of me in court. So I'm not going to claim that I'm an expert on you, but this is nothing new to me. And I get it. Teenagers have this up and down. You're still learning how to do things in life. You're still trying to figure out where you're going to be and what you're going to do. The key is in your hand. When you figure out how to shut the door on the anger and not spew it all over everybody else, you can go home. And it probably isn't going to be as quickly as you'd like it to be, because it's going to take some time for you to do that and to prove to me that you can do it on a regular basis. But you've only been there for 49 days. You haven't even been there 2 months yet. You got a long time to go before you get out of there. And quite frankly, I can send you right back there. If you come home and you're just going to put your time in and come home, you're probably going to end up going right back there again. So let's do this the easy way. Let's do the hard work now. Get yourself under control, like I know that you can, and then let's come home and show everybody that you can do this. Because I've got to say to you, the language that I heard directed towards my staff is totally unacceptable. I am not a violent person, and I'm not saying that I would do this, but if you were talking to my staff in front of me, I would be tempted to slap your mouth. And I know that that's inappropriate, okay? But I just got to tell you, that's what that language makes me want to do. Now, I'm old enough and I'm smart enough not to act on that. I get it, all right? But you got to understand that a smart mouth on a young person is not a good thing. I'm talking to you as remembering my 17-year-old self, my 15-year-old self, and I had a pretty smart mouth on me. I didn't use the language that you use, but I could talk my way around just about anything. Okay. Thankfully, my mom and my dad impressed upon me at an early age that I didn't get to say whatever came to my brain. And I grew to fear my mom and my dad in a good way, because if I stepped over the line, they enforced it. Okay. What I'm telling you is you're at an age now where it's time for you to enforce it. It's time for you to put that check on that, because the language that you used, that's just ridiculously terrible language. You don't get to talk to other people like that. I don't really know why anyone would think that talking ghetto or gangster or whatever it is that you want to call it would ever be appropriate. Why would you want to act that dumb? Why don't you want to be the best person that you could absolutely ever be? Let me put it this way. If you're smart enough to use that kind of language, then you're smart enough to understand why you're using it. And if you're smart enough to understand why you're using it, then you're smart enough to change your own behavior. So if you're not going to change your own behavior when you're smart enough to understand it, and you're smart enough to know that why you're doing it and what you're doing it for, then I have to believe that that is an intentional behavior on your part, that you are intentionally using that language, knowing that it's going to get you in trouble, knowing that you're not going to go back home. So if you want to stay there that bad, then I'm going to keep you there.
Your Honor, can I interject for just a moment?
Please.
I don't know if you're able to view Victoria on the screen and how she's acting and the behavior, the body language that she's really presenting to you is fairly quite poor at this time. The shoulder shrugging, the nodding of the head when you talk about her behavior, her ghetto language that she just smiled about. This is funny to her, Your Honor. This is not a serious conversation to her. And this is kind of the interactions and the behaviors that we've had to endure with her. So you can see plain sight today, this behavior that Victoria is presenting is how she initially starts with us.
Thank you. I believe that I'm probably at the end of your attention span right about now, Victoria. So I'm going to stop talking. I've already told you what we're going to do out of this. You have the key. When you can show me that you can change your behavior, that you change your attitude, that you can change your language, then I'll discuss with you in a reasonable, rational manner how fast you can come home. But until you've learned that lesson and can show it to me on a consistent basis, you're in the proper place where you need to be right now. And you'll stay there for as long as I can keep you there. All right, Mr. Delaney, is there anything else that we need to do today from your perspective?
Judge, although not required, the day is long. I wanted to know if Mom wanted to weigh in briefly. It's been a long day here, but the court might want to see what she thinks about your views and Victoria's views, if she'd like to, because she called me yesterday and wanted to weigh in.
That's fine. Ma'am, go ahead.
Melissa, did you want to, what do you think?
I did. I did. I wanted to, I mean, my plan was today was to come and just, I call up there. I went to see Victoria already twice and visit with her. I try to go every other week. I have counseling with her every Monday. I call up there, like I said, and speak to the supervisor, if not every day, every other day, and I get a report of how she's doing. And according to them, they tell me always that she's doing good. I am aware of her bad language, and I will not defend her when it comes to that, because that is not okay, and I will not raise my daughter like that. She needs to respect her elders. She might not agree, but she needs to respect. I cannot see her body language. I'm not able to see on my end, so but I completely understand if she is behaving like that. That is very wrong, and she should not, because that speaks volume. I am aware of the altercation that when she did have with Samantha, because she did want me to be able to be in the Zoom, and then there was some discrepancy as far as medication, and them saying that I wanted her on medication, and she knows and I know I'm not for medication unless she absolutely needs it. So that kind of freaked her out and gave her anxiety. Like, she was like, are they going to start making me, I'm not defending her by no means, but so what I'm trying to say is I was planned on coming on here to ask today if they're not for her to come home, because I want it to be 100% her ready and using discernment and all that. But I wanted to see if we could do a home pass, or if I could see her. But it's completely up to you guys. I am kind of disappointed. I'm not going to lie, if she's not caring, because that speaks a lot, like how she's going to act when she does come home. But and then as far as the first the domestic violence, I know at that time I was told to call every single time something goes, so I was very confused. Like, I didn't know if this is like gonna be domestic violence on her as an adult, or it's gonna be on as an adult, or how that's gonna work. But I just wanted to explain that I was told also and I'm not defending her, because as you read off what happened that date and time, that is the honest truth, and that did happen. At that time, there was a lot of frustration and bad behavior and stuff going on at that time. But I do want to just let you guys know I was told every single time any little incident happened to call the law, to call the law, because that was the only way we were going to be able to get her the help that she needed. But I was just going to ask Your Honor if we could make like a plan, or see if she does have good behavior. Is there any way she can have a pass to come home, or just not come home, just a pass for the day or a pass for the weekend if I have to make a trip out there for the day?
I think that's a great idea for an incentive. So here's what I'm going to do. Victoria, I want you to meet with your probation officer and come up with a plan as to what specific things that you need to do and how long you need to do them in order to gain the incentive of having a home pass. That doesn't mean that you get to dictate how long that is. That means that you get part of the planning process. The probation department, I'm going to give them the discretion to give you a home pass if they believe that you are behaving in an appropriate manner, both on the Zoom calls with them and at the RISE detention center. So they have that discretion. So I want you to work with them to make a plan as to when a home visit can be made and how long it's going to take. So I'm not going to tell you how long that is. I want you to work towards that with the probation department, and it'll be up to them ultimately how long that is. You also need to work with them as to what specific behaviors that you are going to do. I'm going to tell you right now, a couple of them are going to be attitude and language. Okay? So that's going to be part of the court's order. Mom, is there anything else that you would like to be part of the court's order?
Am I able to, or never mind, I will talk to Samantha about that, because I would like to see if I could join in on the Zoom meetings as well, just to see how Victoria is, how she treats them, and if she's respectful, because that tells me a lot.
I'm not going to mandate any specific things that the probation department does,
Yes.
whether or not you're allowed on that. If they feel comfortable with that, that's up to them to do. But they have business that they have to attend to that might not be pertinent to you specifically, or might need to have you not be there so they can discuss it with Victoria. So I'm not going to mandate that, but they certainly have my blessing if they wish to do that on a certain amount of calls.
Yes, sir.
So, all right. So the court's order will be that all prior orders of the court remain in full force and effect. That Victoria continue to meet weekly with the probation department via Zoom in a respectful and appropriate manner, and then that probation has the discretion to give a home pass if they believe that the behavior on Zoom and at the Rise Detention Center is appropriate for an approved amount of time period as agreed upon between the probation department and Victoria. And the appropriateness needs to encompass attitude and language and behavior, and I'll leave the details of that to the probation department. Ms. DeFighter, do you have any questions for me as to what I mean by all of those things?
I do not, Your Honor.
All right. Mom, do you have any additional questions?
I do not, Your Honor.
Mr. Delaney, are you good?
Yes, I am. Thank you.
Ms. DeFighter, everything all good? Okay with you?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Johnson, anything else?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. I just want it to be made very clear to Victoria. So at this time, she is not going to be granted a home pass. That is correct.
Yeah, that's a future thing. She's going to have to work towards that. So there's no guarantee that she gets one. It's going to be that's part of the key to getting home is doing what she needs to do. So this is a way to show me by the time we have another one of these review hearings. All right, how many home passes did you earn? So we're going to set up a process so that she can do that. But she's going to have to earn it. It's not going to be something that's going to be given to her. All right, Victoria, is there anything else that you want to say?
I have nothing I want to say to you.
Good. Show it to me. I don't need to
71
hear your
days to
words.
go.
Show me your actions. All right, that's all for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Mr. McClellan, I'm just going to take up Ms. Jones's matter. If you're ready to go, Ms. Jones, want to choose a table? Morning. Okay, so we're here about that allegation of speeding from April 30th. He wanted what we call a contested hearing, and that means that I look at the facts in the police report. If they're under penalty of perjury, I consider them, and then if there's enough evidence to keep going, then I put you under oath and I hear from you as well, and then I have to weigh the evidence, what I can, what's admissible, what's allowed to be considered, and then I apply the law. Did you or did you not violate the speeding statute? And if you didn't, then I say, no, you didn't, and we tell DOL. If you did, then $176 is imposed, and the committed finding or that you did do it goes to DOL. You also may qualify. I always like you to know all your options here. You may have already figured it out, but I just want you to know. It looks like, could you have? Yes, you could do a deferral on this. A deferral would allow the court to dismiss the speeding ticket altogether in 6 months. What it would require of you is a $150 fee that you can pay over time if you need to. No other tickets after today or whenever you enter the deferral. But you can do that too. And also sometimes people ask for a contested hearing and they're just like, yeah, I did it, but can you reduce that fine? And I can do that too. And it can all happen today. First off, do you have any questions about those options? Okay. Are you interested in the deferral?
I just don't know that there's any evidence.
Okay.
And I don't know.
So are
what
you
that-
interested in the deferral or not? And then I'll know which way we're going.
No, I'm not
Okay.
interested in that.
And so did you go look for, did you get, City of Lacey, did you go look at a police report or ask them to give it to you or anything?
No.
Okay, because they don't give it to you unless you ask. All right. So let me see here. Got something and it's short. So why don't I wonder if I can print this out. I'm going to try printing this and see what happens. Who knows what's going to happen. Okay, so I'm giving you what we've been provided by law enforcement, then I'll just give you a chance to review and then maybe you can make some decisions here. I haven't looked at it yet. You can just have a seat. Nobody's pressing for that table. Let me jump back to you, Ms. Jones. You've had a little time and that's for you to keep. You don't have to give that back. All right, so you've had a chance to review what I will potentially review here too. Are you ready for your contested hearing?
Yes.
Okay, so you don't want to do the deferral?
No.
All right, so let me look at what's been provided here, and it's all electronic. That's where I got that printed out, is what was provided electronically from law enforcement. So I'm looking at the face of the citation along with what's been titled that one page, Lacey Police Department LiDAR affidavit. And also looking, of course, at the law under 46 or 4661 400, I believe. Look at that. Yes. All right, let me review this. Okay, that's Officer Villela, signed under penalty of perjury. That's what you read too. So let me put you under oath and I can hear your side of things. So raise your right hand. Swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I swear I'll tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Good. All right. So Ms. Jones, what's your side of this speeding ticket?
Well, I am very well versed in taking this route. I work Monday through Friday. I manage a luxury apartment community in Lacey. On my lunch break, I go to my son's school, Roosevelt Elementary School. It takes me 15 minutes to get there. I pick him up. I drive him to the Lacey Boys and Girls Club. I drop him off. I drive the same path back to my office. If I'm lucky, I get to Starbucks and get a lunch and get home back to my office and eat. It had just passed my birthday and I was doing the same route that I usually do. And out of the corner of my eye, I see this black SUV and I'm like, that's really weird. Like, it looks like it's dumped there. And there's a red pickup truck in front of me that has a shell topper on it. And I'm driving my same path. I go around the roundabout, I pass Cabela's and I see this and I see this. And I'm like, feeling like this is normal. And then as I drive by this vehicle, I see, oh, in the angle, I can see from the light glaring on it, that's a Lacey police officer. Cool. I have National Night Out at my property where the City of Lacey Police Department will come attend to my property. So no problem for me, but then all of a sudden I'm getting pulled over. So I'm like, okay, I pull up to the next side and he comes up. And I think this is weird because I remember seeing this other vehicle in front of me going faster than me in the left lane. I'm in the slow lane, so to speak. Pull over. He's like, ma'am, do you know why I pulled you over? And I said, actually, I don't. And he's like, well, do you know how fast you were going? I'm like, you know what? I think I was going with the flow of traffic. There was another car. He's like, yeah, it looked like you were trying to catch up with that other vehicle, ma'am. And I said, okay, well, I'm sorry. What, and I don't remember precisely what I said, but he says you need your vehicle registration and you need your insurance if you have any. I'm like, okay, no problem. I get my tabs out. I'm like, oh, I haven't put the sticker on my car. He's like, well, that's a blah, blah, blah right there. I'm like, okay, here it is. I'll put the sticker on. I hand it to him. And I said, I know I have insurance. It's just on my phone. He's like, well, why don't you hand me your ID? If you can find your insurance, I'll look at that when I come
Well, you're
back.
only charged with speeding. You didn't charge it with insurance or
Yes.
tabs. So let's focus in on the speeding issue.
So he is looking at me through my window, continually staring at my breasts and my body. He's not making eye contact. And so when he came back up, I didn't roll the window all the way down. I gave him my license or my insurance on my app.
Can we talk about the speeding issue? Why do you think you weren't going? What's alleged here, it looks like he cited you for 48 and a 35.
I don't believe I was going faster than the
Okay.
speed limit.
Tell me about
And
that.
there's another vehicle that was in front of me that was going faster than me.
Mhm.
And he notes in this affidavit that there was no other car. And there was. It was directly adjacent to me. I believe that he tracked that car and not me. And I believe he pulled me over because I'm a woman. It was very intimidating. It was very awkward to be stared at in that fashion. And when he came back to handing my stuff back, he was very quick to say, thank you for being so nice to me. And usually there's a lot of speeding in this area, so we're used to that. But I would normally not give a person a ticket, but you lied to me. And I'm like, sir, I didn't lie to you. I don't know what you're talking about, but go ahead and give me the ticket and I will take care of it. And promptly rolled up the window and laughed. It felt very contrived. And I believe that it was the other car that was speeding and not me. And I believe that I could see it point blank in this affidavit. He lied about it. He lied about that car being there.
All right. So why do you think it was the other vehicle?
Because it was going faster than me.
Okay.
And it was literally, we were, from the angle that he was at, I could see him easily tracking that vehicle that speed and not me.
So the portion that says the traveling alone or was okay. All right.
Because if you listen to the audio recording of being pulled over, he literally comments on the other vehicle in the recording.
So all of the information from the officer, I'm not allowed to consider. It's called hearsay.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't ask us to subpoena or order the officer to come to court. So that's why I'm allowed to just go on the police report and what you say about your observations, but not about statements made by other people. And I couldn't consider even in their report any statements made by other people because of hearsay, which is, unless they're present, then they can be cross-examined and judged as their credibility and what they really know and all that.
His lack of appearance doesn't speak to the credibility.
That's up to you to ask him to be here. The court does not bring people into court unless this is a civil case. So it's up to you to build your defense. And if that was appropriate, then you would have told us you needed him here and it's on the face of
not
your
my common place to get tickets,
right.
but
it's on
you don't
the
know what you don't
face of
know.
it. Yeah. And so I can't consider anything he said. I can consider your impressions, and I'm doing that. And then I have to look at this. So what can I consider as evidence? And what evidence do I have? You think you weren't going that speed, but then when I'm handed here under penalty of perjury from an operator trained in the use of this LiDAR, that was checked before and after the stop, that passed the checks, that was apparently in working order, that in fact found you going 48 and a 35.
So him omitting the information of the other vehicle being there and also having the contradiction on the body cam footage.
I don't have the body cam
so
footage.
I should have known to contact him. Okay. Well, if you can reduce it to whatever you can reduce it to, I would appreciate it. And I will go ahead and move to go to Lacey PD to file a formal complaint about
that was my next thought is this is the judiciary. They're the executive. They're not in my chain of command.
Yeah.
I can't do anything about them.
Yeah.
But you can go directly to the command staff.
Yeah.
And let them know what you felt, what you saw, what you experienced. And that's important. It's up to you if you want to do it. You know, I'm not going to order you to do anything like that. But if you feel so inclined, then you would do that and go to Lacey. And that's really the only way they find out what people are doing on the road.
Yeah.
So that's an aside.
Okay.
All right. So, okay. So, gonna find it's committed, get this down to $130. And then what you'll do next is we'll give you a receipt. You'll stop at the front counter and just make arrangements.
Okay.
You don't have to pay today, but you can, if you want to, you can.
For me, it wasn't about the money. It was more about this didn't happen this way, but I'm grateful I'm in a financial capacity to take care of it. And I'm not concerned about that by any means. I look at it as if someone does get a ticket, they're doing their civic duty to financially reinvest in the local system. So that's fine. It's just, yeah, I will have to go the other direction with Lacey PD, and I'm hosting the National Night Out August 5th at my property. So I'm sure we'll get a number of officers. I think 21 different apartment complexes signed up this segment. So we're having a luau at our property. So I'm sure they'll come eat and I can chit chat and see what the right direction would be.
That actually is not a bad idea with the people that you know. Do it the back way and you probably get more. But who knows? You could also go to the front counter and ask to talk to the chief and see what it is that you do about filing complaints. All right. So we're going to hand you this receipt if you don't mind coming on up, and then just stop at the front counter.
Okay, so I don't know what to make of any of them. The first one wants $1 trillion that she's owed because she's Adam Winthrop's daughter. But Adam Winthrop was born in the 1500s, so she's really old. But then I wasn't sure if she said Winthrop or Winsip. I couldn't find any famous person with that name other than a young man, a very young man on Instagram. And I don't think that's her father. Anyway, Judge Washington Hill, the guy thinks that when his wife goes out to work, she's leaving him. Okay, she's making money for the family, and you think she's leaving you? Okay, whatever. And then Judge Hesselink, I really don't know what to say about that. I put it in because she was just rude. She was just rude. She's going to have to learn to grow up, but that was rude. And then Judge Wilcox, I mean, that woman, I'm sure she thinks everyone is looking at her in that way, probably because no one ever has. But I don't think that's what the officer was looking at. He was standing at the door. He's watching for her hands and what her hands are doing, making sure they aren't reaching for something they shouldn't. She believes that he was staring at her goods. I don't think that was it. I think he was watching her hands, like every officer is supposed to do. Anyway, she was in a fantasy land. So that's all I have, but thank you so much for watching, and I will see you another time.